You are watching the Pittsburgh Penguin Fan Show on Fan Media Network. I'm Joe Bartnick, a Pittsburgh Penguin fan. Joining me now, our returning champion, my great friend, Puck Off co-host, awesome comedian, the one and only Andy Picaro. Welcome back, Andy.
What's going on?
Good stuff. Great stuff. Undefeated since we said this week. We went 5-3. We spotted Vegas 3 goals, and there was no doubt about it. We win 5-3. We come home after a long trip, and fool around with Ottawa, still win 6-4. Go to Columbus, beat them 5-2, and then this morning, this is Sunday. We were down 2-0, kind of chalked it off as we didn't have it today. Okay, you got to lose something once in a while. Jarry wouldn't let it happen. And we got away 3-2 in the shootout, thanks to your captain, Sir Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, I mean, they outshot him, outpossessed him all game. And I was telling you, Joe, I was chalking this up to this is a goaltender battle. And yeah, I thought Hellebuyck kind of at a certain point in the third, I just kind of was resigned to, oh, well, we're out shooting him like 30-17 or whatever it was at that point, and still nothing's going in. And I'm like, well, Connor just won this one. This is one of those gritty goalie's going to win one and get some lucky bounces. And then I cannot believe he misplayed that puck, for that second goal there. It was Carter, right? But this team doesn't go away. They play harder and harder. I think this team plays so much better when they're down a goal or they're down 2 goals. Like, they just don't stop when they're down. When they're up, it's like all of a sudden it's like, hey, where's the urgency? But when this team is trailing, like they've got some real third period magic, this year.
And I love it. It makes it so fun. You got to credit Sully. They just didn't look sharp. I mean, the matinee, I thought their passing was terrible. They were making some smart decisions, but just couldn't keep the puck on their sticks. And I thought their line play at the 2 lines was bad. I just chalked this up, but Jarry just would not let it happen. And let's face it, Jarry's played way too much, because we always do a few negatives and a few positives. Let's start the negatives first. First of all, DeSmith, awful. Jarry needs a competent backup. I can't believe Domingue, who played last week and then got hurt in practice. Domingue, I love Louis Domingue. I actually thought at the beginning of the year he might be the starting goaltender this year. That's how much I knew about Jarry's bounce back capabilities. But he gets hurt in practice. The puck hit him. That would never happen to DeSmith in practice, I guess. But you know what? He better beat Arizona Tuesday night, or they got to get a competent backup goaltender if Domingue is week to week. Because Jarry has won 2 games coming in cold. That's even more impressive. I mean, I know he's in the zone, but we need a backup goaltender, correct?
Yeah, no, we do. And he basically got robbed of getting a shutout because he shut him out for 2 periods the other night once he got pulled and went in. So he should have another one, really. No, I don't want to pile on the negatives on Casey. We all know what they are, but your only job is to not get pulled. It'd be nice if you win. It'd be, you know what I mean? It'd be really nice if you get to the point. Great if you get to 2 points. Your only job is to give that guy a night off. Just like in the NFL, if you're a backup QB, your only job is to not throw the pick 6. It's just like, go in there and don't throw the pick 6. All you got to do is not get shelled. And he hasn't been able to do that for 4 out of his last 5 starts, or 4 out of his last 6, I believe. So that you're not doing your job at that point. So that is a big negative for me as well.
I wish Casey kind of would have got to start today, because I thought, well, at least this way it's a matinee. Maybe the team will button up and play a little tighter. Because, but the 2 he gave up were just like, Frazier could have stopped him. I don't know. Second on my list of negatives is the high risk, high reward. I know people are gonna say it's Gino, and I know I'm a Gino, not apologist, but a loyal Gino guy. But he only plays 17 minutes a game. What about the other 43? What's going on? And Sid, his beautiful assist tonight, he got the hat trick. That first pass to Duma was amazing, but boy, could that have gone the other way quick. I think Sid's been playing some high risk hockey. They all are. Gino especially. But I think Gino's high risk. I think I noticed Gino more floating on defense, not floating and not trying. Floating of like, hey, I'm going to try to double team this guy, or I'm going to try to figure out this is going to be a backdoor pass and I'm going to cheat. I think that's Gino's biggest crime is cheating the game, to quote Sully, and not being on the right side of the puck.
Well, the great Jay Caulfield was trying to say it softly, but Gino changing slowly led to a goal and led to another good chance. And again, it wasn't like directly. It's not like you can say, okay, it definitely happened because he changed slow. But he got out late. Carter gets out as fast as he can, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a chance. Yeah, I think that the whole team, and this is actually not to flip the positive, but just to keep the line of thinking, Mike Matheson's aggression, I love. He is taking the puck directly to the net. Today, he took it to the net twice. He had nothing to do with it. It ended up in the corner, but he still brought it right to the net and created a chance and a possibility for a bounce. So I think that, Malkin's just got to get his legs right. You know what I mean? He's played a couple games where he's looked absolutely like Super Malkin. You know what I mean? And he's played other games where he's been a bit loafy. And he's been known to be like that in his career. So I think that, for Malkin, it's more just getting back of the swing of things. This team is moving fast, and it's got to be tough, especially when you play a game like he did. And that move he pulled to dance Scheifele, I mean, that was ridiculous. So Malkin his game is getting there. It's not quite edged yet.
I thought he had his legs the second half of this game. I thought he was on his horse today. I thought he was galloping a lot today, but he still had those issues. He is a slow change.
He really is.
He is a slow change. He's kind of always has been, but now
great Jaromir Jagr too. Would always have one arm on the stick, just slowly on one leg, gliding to the bench. Like, get over here.
Yeah, he's the headliner walking slowly to the stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure I got my drink and my tape recorder going, and I'll be there. I'll get there. And they actually had a couple. We talked before this about putting the whistles away. They put the whistles away on a couple really quick changes in overtime. Gino wasn't near the bench a couple times, and whoever came on. Where I've seen it called too many men, which is a backbreaker in overtime. Which Jay would have had to say something then. This is gonna be half positive, half negative. But I'm going to cut it on this one. Is we saw Teddy get dinged. Teddy was one of the only two guys that had played every game this year. Teddy being out, that hurts. If it is a head injury, it leads me to this picture. So that's a negative. Positive, but something needs to be addressed. I think these last 4 or 5 games, the Penguins have shown that they need to be a little bigger. I know I say this every year for 50 years, but I like to get Zahorna back in. I don't want to see Teddy come out for Zahorna, but I think Erod, Simone, I think we need a little bit more size. It seems like the games are getting chippier, and you don't want Gino. Gino was bucking up against Lowry. I think we need a little more size. How you feel about that?
The problem is the teams that have enough size have a really big but really good defenseman. It used to be you could have a number 6 defenseman, and he'd go in there, get in the scrums, and he'd be on the ice for some of the tough shifts, at the end of periods and things like that. You really can't give away that 6th spot anymore on your roster. Like you need to have a Joel Edmondson. You need to have a guy that can really play. And now
we were talking about this on Puck Off. How Goodbranson jumped in the Ponce de Leon fountain because he looks 10 years younger in Calgary.
Exactly.
Well, I just mean it seems like we're getting as the games get chippier. It seems like we always seem to, other than Boyle and Carter, and of course Gino and Sid's gonna put his face in. And Rusty and Snake do their part, but the Simones and the Erods and Heinen cares, but he's a little skinny. It seems like we could use Zahorna is not Bob Probert, but he is 6'7".
Yeah,
no, it's like
I agree. I like their forward mix so much. I don't know where to add, but I mean, believe me, if we could bring in, I know he got danced last night, but he's fresh in my mind and he's having a rough year, Mark. It would make sense. But if we could bring in a big forward, and we could trade away maybe one of our better assets or bring in a guy that's got the same amount of skill, but it's a little bit larger, that would be ideal. But I just don't, that they don't have much in the coffers to trade. So I don't know who they're going to get.
But I think the good thing is I think a lot of our cheap guys that Burke and Hexie brought in are playing well. And I owe a lot. I mean, Heinen's played great, and so Simone's played pretty good, and Erod. I mean, I think any of those guys, they can bring back something. Okay. As opposed to saying the Legarriers of the world have done nothing, and now I think they're cold. No one wants them. But
Well, I
We'll
think
see.
the Teddy injury gives room for the team to display possible tradable players too. Any silver lining is they do have too many forwards right now. Play these guys and maybe trade them for something that you can kind of trade up.
Well, I think Zahorna will get back in, and we'll see what happens with Zach Aston Reese. He was a kind of healthy scratch the other day. My other big positive, and then we'll get out of here, is Sidney Crosby, the captain, back in full force. He just refuses to lose. I mean, you knew he was scoring on the you knew he was scoring on the shootout. Just like it's Sid.
He is in a mode right now for the past 7 or 8 games, and their winnings, their wins over the past few or the past month or so show that he's just in a win mode. I mean, this is the mode that us Crosby fans have seen maybe 20 times in his career, where he just snaps in for a month or two, and he's just playing unbelievable hockey. And this is again why people still list him amongst the 5 best. What him and Ovechkin have done to still be in the league at this age, at their age, and still be considered as good as guys that are 22, 23 it's incredible.
It's going to be a fun. I think they're going to face each other in the playoffs too.
Well, I feel like they got to face off at least 2-3 more times. I feel like to really cap it off. Like, you know what I mean? Really get I hate to say cap it off, but I mean, we know Ovi's going to be there for a while. I don't think Sid's going anywhere. He's like Tom Brady, just sits there with oxygen tanks and doctors keeping his body perfect and stuff. They're both not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. And and why would they? They're the top 5 amazing players. All right. Any other final words?
No, just I can't eat my words from the beginning of the season more. I thought they were going to be not that good, not even close to the playoffs. And I'm like you, I'm excited. And I'm excited to play anybody besides maybe Florida. I don't really want to play Florida, but I'm excited to play everybody.
So we're going to play Florida, and let's beat the Desert Dogs. That's good luck to Casey DeSmith, and that's Andy Picaro. I'm saying I think Casey will play, right? If he's not going to play against the Desert Dogs, then Jari's. He's never playing again.
I think he might be playing knowing, hey, this might be my last NHL check. You know what I mean? Just because of the circumstances, right? I mean, who are you going to bring in? I don't even know the next name.
Well,
I can't even think.
If Domingue can't go, it has to be Bjorkquist. Someone has to go to just bring in a AAA goaltender to give Jarry a night off. I mean,
was Legare still down there or what?
Yeah, you mean Legacy? No, but I mean, we have to bring whoever we have to trade to bring. Like, it can never be DeSmith again. Like, if he doesn't win Tuesday, right? It can. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, but the fact he was on the bench last night, I don't know. And Sully's
Domingue is out.
I know, but I'm saying I would have thought they would have made the flip with DeSmith already. Send him to, you know what I mean? Do the flip now. I mean, maybe travel wise they couldn't. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons why it might not have been possible. But
I think you got the Desert Dogs in. There's a day off. This is it.
That's a lot of pressure on this kid now. Now this is a stay in the NHL game. Like, if he gets shelled, he's playing in Europe. He's done.
Well, I
mean, that's real.
Well, hey. It's a results business.
Yep.
This is a results podcast. Once again, Andy Picaro, I'm Joe Bartnick. Let's go Pens. That's our show.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.